It's mid-morning again. It's 2:08 here where I'm at. And I've been working on trying to figure out how to make this video without it going crazy for the last 2.5 hours. I don't know if this will be the right one, but we're going to try again. My name is Leslie Marie, and I love my name. It was a gift from my wife. It was a gift from my grandmother and my daughter. And it's, to me, a very beautiful and a very powerful name. It's also an accurate representation of who I am. And I embrace it fully because I love who I'm becoming as a human being. This wasn't always me, and this wasn't always the case. I wasn't born Leslie Marie, and I wasn't born per medical diagnosis a female. I was born a male. That's a really deep topic in our world right now because everybody wants to use the term biology. Well, a biological male is born with a penis, and a biological female is not. And I don't think that is biology. I mean, I'm not a biologist by any means, but I think it's a lot more complex than that. There aren't anything in this world that's that simple. Anyways, I was diagnosed male at birth, and at about 4, I think. I'm still trying to process through all of everything that I buried so that I could get to this point in my life. But I think I was about 4 when I realized I was different. I liked playing with baby dolls and high-heeled shoes and long, flowy, pretty clothing. It was something that made me fulfilled. Not just happy, not just, oh, look at what I can do, but an honest, true fulfillment like, wow, this matches who I am. Of course, at that point in time, it wasn't accepted. It wasn't even a word to be transgender. Transgender didn't exist yet. So to me, I was just different. And to my parents, I was different. And I'm sure that my parents are going to see this, so I'm going to say this very clear. I do not blame you as my parents for any part of who I am now or why I'm trans. I am not mad at you. I am not upset with you. This is not your fault, okay? It's not. It's who I am. And try as you might in what you thought was the best interest of me, I have always been here, and I am who I am. Moving forward, my parents were very closed-minded and strict. when it came to what we were supposed to be as people in this world. They weren't worried about being a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. But in the time I grew up in, to be different, fruity, whatever you want to call it at that point in time, was a scary thing. So my parents worked really, really hard to make sure that I grew up safe in the world I grew up in. Unfortunately, that safety looked a lot like damage in hindsight. I love my parents. They're wonderful people, and they, like every other parent, made mistakes. But they made the mistakes they made in 100% belief that they were doing what was in my best interest at that point in life. So I want to say thank you, Mom and Dad, for the lessons that I got to take away. I really do appreciate it. I look back at pictures of myself, and I always had a very unique style, I guess, if you will. I always wanted to dress way nicer than any little boy should, and I always wanted long, flowy hair, and it was all just a part of that feminine piece of me that I wasn't allowed to express. So I tried to express it through any subtle notion I could. Suits, long hair, all of it. As I ended elementary school, people started noticing that I was different. And I started getting bullied for it. It was really, really difficult right there at the end of my elementary age schooling, because I didn't like being bullied. And at that point, I was still young enough that I had all of my emotions intact. And I felt that pain. And it hurt. And it was hard. And I got in trouble a lot because I did things that I shouldn't do. Because I didn't know how to do anything else. As I moved into middle school, that notion that people believed I was different kind of continued. I always stayed off into the corner. I was very artistic. Art was a means of expressing who I am. And because of that, it again caused me more problems. I got in trouble for not paying attention in classes. I got in trouble for not being where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there, because I was too busy working on an art project or drawing a picture or embracing that outlet, which made me feel a little less awful in my everyday life. We're at an almost 10-minute mark, and wow, this is going to be much more difficult than I imagined.